We're going to talk about intimate partner violence today. Intimate partner violence, what many may experience, but few want to talk about. Intimate partner violence is truly a public health problem that affects more than 32 million people in the United States. This refers to actual or threatened psychological, physical, or sexual harm by a current or former partner or a spouse. This can happen among people with any gender identity and sexual orientation and does not require necessarily sexual intimacy. The underlying issue most of the times is the power and control of the victim by the abuser, that imbalance in terms of the power. There are three main types of intimate partner violence. We talk about physical violence, which is what people normally would expect, which is the intentional use of force to cause harm to somebody, injury, disability, or death. This includes battering with severe and escalating violence and increasing controlling behavior, and what is known as common couple violence, which is something triggered by frustration or anger. There is psychological or emotional violence, which involves trauma by threats of actions or tactics to make you do what you don't want to do. Threats of physical or sexual violence, use of words, gestures, or even weapons to communicate an intent to cause physical harm, injury, disability, or death. This might also include humiliation, control over what a person can do or cannot do, isolating an individual from friends and family, or denying access to money or other basic resources. And the third one is sexual violence. Sexual violence, which is physical, may occur in the context of intimate partners, including date rape, but may also occur between strangers. Unfortunately, only a small percentage of intimate partner violence episodes are reported. So current data are estimates only. These are some numbers actually worth mentioning. For example, among females in the United States, 20% of sexual assaults, 25% of physical assaults, and 50% of stalking episodes are reported. Even fewer intimate partner violence incidents against males are reported. A survey conducted in 2011 identified that 1 in 3 females, that is about 32%, and 1 in 4 males, that is 28% in the United States, have experienced rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And almost 1/2 of all people have experienced psychological violence. Among female victims, rape occurred before age 25 years in 80% of those who suffered it, and before age 18 in 40%. Among male victims, approximately 30% experienced their first rape, which is horribly sad, at age 10 years or younger. Intimate partner violence cuts across sex, racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic boundaries. Although no individual has absolute immunity from involvement with this type of violence, certain groups are at a greater risk for this type of violence, victimization or perpetration. Some risk factors, such as childhood physical or sexual victimization, increase the likelihood for both intimate partner violence, victimization, and perpetration. Risk factors could be associated with a greater chance of intimate partner violence, but are not necessarily the cause of that violence. Being exposed to these risk factors does not automatically mean there will be violence. These are, among many others, some of the risk factors for intimate partner violence. A prior history of intimate partner violence, female gender, younger age, that is less than 24, at-risk alcohol use or drug use, witnessing or experiencing violence as a child, being less educated, unemployment or being below the poverty line, excessive jealousy or possessive behavior, weak community sanctions, for example, when the police is unwilling to intervene and help. Traditional gender norms, for example, females should stay at home and not enter the workforce, or the fact that women should be submissive. Victims of intimate partner violence are found among people of all ages, socioeconomic classes, ethnicities, gender identities, and sexual orientations. Therefore, early identification is extremely important to avoid devastating potential consequences for the individual and those related to the individual. If you feel you may be a victim of intimate partner violence or know someone who could be, remember these 5 points today. You do not deserve that violence. Understand this is a violent situation and it needs to be addressed. You should speak up as you're not alone. Do not be concerned about judgment by others. Intimate partner violence is complex, and there are multiple factors that might have led to that. And finally, do not blame yourself, as that can lead to more abuse and denial.